Ladies and gentlemen, check it out. Behind me is the brand new 2018 Buick Regal TourX. And yes, your eyes do not deceive you. It is indeed a station wagon. That's because Buick has co-developed this with Opel in Europe. This is, of course, the Insignia wagon. And coming up right now in the Fast Lane car, I'm going to tell you everything about this car and the brand new Buick Regal Sportback. Buick flew me down here to Detroit, Michigan to check out not just the wagon, but the Sportback. And I had a chance to chat with the engineer and find out as much as I could about these new Regals. A wagon, first of all, that's brave.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are buying wagons anymore, right? It's a crossover SUV world. So
it
why
is.
did you decide to go with the wagon?
Well, it's really exciting to offer this for Buick. I think, as you heard, Buick's wants to offer cars in the midsize segment that are a bit alternative. This is our SUV alternative. You're in your neighborhood these days and you look around and you see a lot of crossovers and small SUVs. Maybe people are going to get sick of that, but they don't want to give up their versatility. And oh, by the way, they remember how fun it is to drive a sedan and drive a car versus their SUVs or trucks. And this is that alternative for them. So it's exciting. You get the 73 cubic feet of storage behind the front seats. It drives like a car. It has all-wheel drive. And it's,
how much ground clearance?
I don't have the exact ground clearance number compared to the sedan, though. We are raised up about 16 millimeters to give it a little bit more of that rugged play.
Let's walk around. Let's show them what the car looks like. I noticed that you've done kind of black cladding on the side.
Yeah, give it a little more rugged. Give it a little more rugged appearance. Definitely. Like I said, it's also raised up a little bit as well. You can see, the classic Buick lines in the front. Everything is the waterfall grille, really trying to accentuate the width of the vehicle in the front with the grille and the low profile headlamps and the LED technology that we have in the headlamps.
And in case you're wondering, the Sportback comes standard in front wheel drive, but it can be had with all wheel drive. And of course, the wagon, I always smile when I talk about wagons, that comes standard in all-wheel drive. Are they going to be powered by the same power plant?
They are.
Yeah.
2-liter turbo.
Yeah.
Front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive is offered in the Sportback, and all-wheel drive, 2-liter turbo all-wheel drive in the wagon.
Horsepower? The
2-liter turbo is estimated around 250. It's not. We haven't published anything yet. But if you look at our other vehicles that have it as well, you'll see it always around that number. We have a 8-speed transmission in the all-wheel drive and a 9-speed transmission in the front-wheel drive.
Why is that? Why do you have two different transmissions?
We wanted to get to market quickly and we have two great transmissions to choose from, and that was the best way for us to integrate them as quickly as possible and get to the market and be nimble.
Of course, wagons are all about utility and room, so let's see how much room this wagon has. I'm not sitting behind myself, but even with the panoramic sunroof, I still have okay headroom, but look at that. A lot of legroom. It's very airy back here. I love this huge panoramic sunroof. It gives you a sense of openness and space. And yeah, I could spend a lot of time back here. I see why you Europeans still hold on to your wagons.
Yeah, this is a real nice technical look, and you can see something subtle here. We've got the extra French seam stitching here. You got kind of contrasting colors. It fits in here. Somebody might not ever notice, but subconsciously you're going to notice those kind of details over time. You're going to see, again, this is giving the appearance of width and much bigger car than it actually is. Spaciousness. There's a lot of function here. Everything is slightly pulled towards the driver, ever so slightly. Not overly done. That's not a race car. The passenger's still really important, but it is still going to be a driver's car. Buick, the Regal and the TourX still want to be driver's car. They want to be spirited performance, not losing the versatility. You've got a ton of space. You got this beautiful, beautiful moonroof here. That's going to provide a great big open air feeling as well.
So obviously this is based on an Insignia in Europe.
Yes, it is.
Did you guys develop it jointly with the European partners?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is going to be built in our plant in Rüsselsheim, Germany. It's co-developed. Again, we have a lot of Buick tuning elements that we can do there. And what I mean by tuning is our NVH characteristics, our ride and handling characteristics, the all-wheel drive system, the materials that we choose, the colors that we choose. So it's not just a complete copy of an Opel. It's the right things that we can do here that make a great car for our customers that are Buick specific.
And of course, you know, Opel has gone out of the family recently.
Yes.
You sold it to the French.
Yep.
And how does that affect this partnership? I mean, will you still be building these cars in Europe for the American market?
It at this current time, it doesn't affect, and I think Mark maybe had mentioned it, or Duncan had mentioned it earlier, it doesn't affect any of our current product plans at all. And that I can't really speculate beyond that.
Okay, fair enough. No paddle shifters, I see.
There are no paddle shifters at this time.
Here's a trivia question for you. Did you know that Buick offers all of its models in all-wheel drive except for one? Which one is that? Well, it's right here. Yep, it's right behind me. It's the Buick Cascada. Of course, the new station wagon Regal will come with all-wheel drive, and I had a chance to figure out with the engineer how that works. And tell me about the all-wheel drive. What's the split? How does it allocate power?
It allocates power intelligently.
Okay.
It does what it needs based on what you're doing. We have so many sensors and available data in the car. It knows when you're turning, and it preempts torque to the right tire in the back. It knows what's happening. In typical stability control situations where we certainly will use brakes a lot more, this system will use brakes a lot less. It's a lot less intrusive, and you're gonna feel that when you drive it.
So I guess I'm asking, can you go 20% to the front, 80% to the rear, switch that
Yeah.
around?
So you can get
Right.
up to about 50% to the rear, but we don't really quote a number because it's really based on what is
Changing all the
needed.
time?
It's changing all the time,
Yeah.
based on all the different parameters that we can give our intelligent system to give you exactly what you need out on the road.
Okay, fair enough. And will it distribute torque left to right as well?
Absolutely, yeah. That's probably the best part. There's twin clutches,
Yeah.
so in the rear we can go all left to all right as needed.
I sat in the wagon. Let's give the Sportback a try. See how much room is back here. Of course, this is a sloping roof, so yeah, a little bit less room. No panoramic sunroof. Legroom is good. Overall, I love wagons. I know you guys like the kind of tall driving position of a crossover SUV, but there's a lot to be said for driving a car that's low, sleek, and I think, there it is, sexy. So you've got the Sportback and you've got the wagon. What do you think will be the take rate on these two?
I think the Sportback probably hits the market a little bit more.
So more people.
I mean, we know, the American consumer and wagons isn't the biggest market.
Yes, of course.
We have the ability to react quickly to the market as this thing takes off. I think we got a great, like I said, SUV alternative here that's going to do well. But the Sportback certainly has coupe-like look to it, but yet it's still a four, 5-door, but it's got the 4 passenger doors, sedan style that is a little bit more mainstream.
And when will it be available at the dealerships?
Q4 this year.
Okay, and I take it you haven't announced
Pricing will come out closer to that.
MPG hasn't been announced.
That's right. Yeah, and safety ratings, all those things will come as they become official. The safety hood is a great Buick first that we have here. What's happening is in this active safety hood, it comes into play with pedestrian protection. It's another level of pedestrian protection. There's a pressure sensor that goes along the front end of the vehicle, and we're able to determine based on if in the event where braking could not occur and you might strike a pedestrian, the car can sense a pedestrian versus other items such as a pole or a tree or a small animal. And it can activate the hood so that there is a lot less injury to a pedestrian. And what happens is, in a matter of milliseconds, it's determined that we potentially have, in the awful event of hitting a pedestrian, we'll ask these small pyrotechnic devices, similar to what's in your safety belt pretensioner system, to ignite and force the hood up. It goes up about 4 inches and provides a much softer landing area for a pedestrian that would get thrown onto the hood, improving head injury, shoulders, thoracic injury criteria for the person. So how do you open the Sportback? Check this out. You push on the logo and look at all that space. It's got a 40, 20, 40 folding seat. And of course, if I had a fob in my pocket, which I don't, all I would have to do is run my foot underneath here and the Sportback would pop open on its own. At Buick, obviously, quiet tuning is something that goes across all of our product lines, and we're always looking at the best and most efficient way to do that. We've partnered with Continental to develop this quiet tuning aspect called tire insulation. As you can see here, just a cross section through the tire, and it shows some foam added in here. The tire is a large source of noise for the car that we're always trying to get out. The passenger doesn't necessarily want to hear it. When you're on coast road noise, it vibrates through the air and through the structure of the vehicle. This is the source of the noise. This is one way that we can take it out and make a more pleasant vehicle.
Now I see it says it's on front-wheel drive cars, and you do active noise cancellation on all-wheel drive. Why don't you have it on both front-wheel?
Well, again, this goes to what's the most efficient way and what are the noises we're trying to get rid of. The suspensions are different on these. We have a 4-link suspension on the front-wheel drive and a 5-link suspension on the all-wheel drive. They have different characteristics.
A lot of room back there.
Yep, a lot of room. You've got standard. All the accessory rails are standard, and then we have a ability to fold the seats down like that.
There's Auto Guide wandering around in the back of my shot. So, do you like the station wagon or do you like the Sportback? It's kind of back there. Either way, they'll be available starting in the fourth quarter of 2018. As always, this is Roman reporting for the Fast Lane Car. Check out tflcar.com for more news, views, and of course, real world reviews. See you guys next time, and don't forget to click over here for some more great TFL videos. Ciao.